Hi, Jeremy.
All right, so Bob Press pointed out. What's that?
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Say what you were going to say first.
All right, so let me just start with the introduction. So this is a public hearing regarding the Open Meetings Law Amendment. Today is May 25th, 26, May 26, 2022. It is 6:02 p.m. Mr. Bob Press pointed out that we failed to put this on the calendar. Yeah, so, and this was scheduled a while ago. I know the email to the public distribution list didn't go out until what, 2 hours or more ago. So my apologies for that. The open meetings law, as at least Sandy and Yahe should be aware, has been amended come June 15th, I think. We're supposed to go back to meeting in person. Remote meetings, the only option is for a partial remote participation. That's after a quorum is established. Let me pull up the agenda, because that has a lot of the information in there.
I know. My question is, at this meeting, could I make a statement saying that someone who may have night blindness or has trouble seeing at night?
Yeah. So we'll go. We'll give everybody 2 minutes. Whoever wants, we'll give them two minutes to make a statement. But before you do that, let me share the agenda, and I just pull up. I'll just make some salient points because of the unfortunately the brevity and time in which people were notified on this issue. Let me just pull up the agenda, share it. We are live streaming onto YouTube, and we're recording it just as a backup. So, hold on. Everybody sees my screen?
Yeah, but you're blurry.
All right, so hold on. Let me. Copying the wrong thing. Okay. Can you see that now, Sandy?
Yeah, but you're still blurry. And like there's something purple in your eye.
Let me stop my video.
I don't know what's the matter.
Can you see that, Bob? Yeah,
yeah, I could see the screen where you.
Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, we could see that. Yes, much better.
All right, so the open meetings law, if you look at the amendment here, so this is an amendment by the governor, and so if we're allowed to do this, so the community board has to vote on this if they want to do this, and again, so you have to have a quorum established before anybody could attend. Well, if any board member wants to attend remotely going forward, come June 15th on, we have to have a quorum in person established first.
Now, Jeremy, but how many people are now on the board because you've had resignations? So what is the total number of the board?
A quorum is always half plus one.
Right, but how many are available now? How many are on the board?
I'll tell you how many members we have currently. I mean, I don't know if that really matters ultimately, well, Sandy, because
yeah, okay.
I mean, it matters. You just have to know it's half plus one. So we have 36 members currently. So what's half of that?
19. Like 19.
18, 19. Yeah, 18 plus 1, 19. So we need 19 people in person. Well, committees are different. So you have Well, yeah, let's look at your committee, for example. That's easier to work with because it's a smaller number. You have 5 members of your committee currently. If you have 3 in person, let's pretend you're out sick or whatever, but it's a really important meeting.
We
You want to
understand.
join remote. Yeah, you want to join remotely. You just have to have your video showing too.
Okay.
And you have to have a specific reason for that we have to determine.
That's what
That the board has to
that's
determine.
what I want to get at. What are the determining factors? What can be the determining factors?
So, extraordinary circumstances. So if you could see
I
I
read
clicked
that.
on,
Yeah.
so I don't know, I can't move my, I don't know, I can't highlight this. So if you look at the middle of the screen here, maybe it's just the document itself is
Whatever. Now,
terrible.
certain.
You look at the middle of the screen. Yeah, question, what is an extraordinary
Right.
circumstance? And the bottom here says the law includes a non-exhaustive list of examples of such circumstances, including disability, illness, caregiving responsibilities, or any other significant or unexpected factor or event which precludes the member's physical attendance at such meeting.
Yes, I read that. I know that. I read the thing.
Okay. So I don't know why we couldn't just use this language if we use it.
Right,
I mean,
but some people might say, "What is a disability?" I consider night blindness or people, not getting clear vision because maybe you have glaucoma or cataracts. You can't see very well at night, and that should then help you to get hopefully part of a remote for the high.
yeah, I mean, I'm stop sharing. So, yeah, I mean, we're in the 21st century now, right?
Yes.
We should recognize everybody's limitations, and if we want to be a really inclusive board, we should allow for people that maybe have physical handicaps that prevent them from
Yes.
showing up at least periodically or permanently. I mean, if they can't show up at all, that's begs the question: should they really be on the board?
Right. I
At the same
understand.
time, yeah.
Oh.
So, what other questions do you have, Sandy?
No, that was the biggie because this is going to open up a lot tonight, and we're going to have another.
Maybe not.
Well, hopefully
I mean,
not.
as I said in my email to you, and then ultimately the public, which was shared with the public, is this law was written to discourage us from doing this. The way the law was written, that's my opinion. That's Tom Lucania's opinion. Practically everybody I've spoken to, that's their opinion. This is intentionally written to discourage us from pretending that COVID ever happened and we ever had remote meetings. I mean, that's my opinion. I could be wrong.
It doesn't make sense because so many more people and corporations, etc., are having a hybrid model or whatever, and not making it as difficult as this was stating. Oh God, my allergies are bad. Okay.
Yeah, so hey, let's do questions before people make statements. If people are prepared to provide a soliloquy, so to speak,
Yeah,
we can go into.
let's hear from the public first, because I have a few things to mention. I'm just waiting for the public to give their portion
Sure.
first.
Bob was here first, I think. Bob, did you have any questions, or do you want to make a 2-minute
I
statement?
mean, I just looked at my email 2 hours ago, saw this. It's much like when I go to other community boards and things are thrust upon me and I'm asked my opinion, I say, well, I've just seen this material, and many other board members will agree with me because they're just seeing it. And we can't make any kind of statement or opinion until we read it. And it's a lot of material. I see it came from Senator Biaggi's office, which I really trust. And I'm glad we're on the recording. So I don't know. I mean, I saw something from the governor in the past, and it had different dates on it. I thought June 15th was the date that you had to go public. And so I can't comment on this. This seems different from what I saw from the governor.
Well, this comes from the State Committee on Open Government. So,
well, it's the governor that ultimately decides yes or no and when.
Yeah. So yeah, I understand that this is thrust upon you, just like it's basically thrust upon us. Yeah, we've had more time to deal with it, but we had to have, I know my colleagues and I had a meeting with the Borough President's office about it because it was not clear enough for everybody. So there's a lot of working behind the scenes to try to understand stuff, so.
And there should be someone from open government, advising the boards instead of a state senator. Okay.
Yeah, well, we had a meeting with the Borough President's office. State Committee on Open Government was scheduled to be there, and then they bailed on us. So I don't know what to say about that.
So you
I
did your
mean,
due diligence, Jeremy, by inviting the open government. If they didn't show, then that's not your problem.
Yep.
Just
Jeremy,
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
because this is going to be voted on by the board today.
Well, it may not. It may not. The board doesn't have to vote on it.
It does.
I mean,
Is it going to?
if they don't vote on it, then we can't do it.
Well, I mean, if it's going to be placed on the agenda,
It's on the agenda in terms of didn't
Okay.
serve the general statement, but the board hasn't taken a position yet.
well, I'd like
I
to
don't think it will.
speak then to the board on this because this wasn't on the agenda, and that's why I didn't ask to speak.
Well, if we look at the agenda,
You have 3 speakers. I would just like to make a comment to the board on how they should vote on this.
So Bob, this is your opportunity to make the comment and we'll mention it at the meeting.
right, and I'm a board member, so see if you can influence me one way or the other.
I want to influence the other 34 people also.
I understand
there.
that,
well, we can take whatever you say to the board.
board.
And it's not going to be the same as if I say it. Okay? And I'm going to voice my objection to this, that this should not be put on the agenda then, if you're not going to allow people to speak to it. This is like if you put a liquor license on the agenda tonight. Or like
Well,
last
you
time.
have,
if
you
people
have,
couldn't
you have
speak
the
to it.
opportunity to speak now, Bob. I mean,
This is not, if I
Bob,
knew this
why
was
don't
going to
you-
happen, I would have requested speaking time, Jeremy.
okay. I mean,
All right,
the
I'm
board,
telling you that now.
yeah,
And
no,
I'm
I understand.
to the-
So,
It's
So
being
I am-
recorded, so he could say what he wants. It's still going to be recorded.
and we can still report to the board if, you know, I mean, the board can make an exception, Bob. The board wants to allow, waive the requirement to sign up to speak for you. They can do that.
Fine.
I can.
Please let them know of the reason why. Okay?
Yeah, no, I can say, there was not enough time to, yeah, we can make exceptions. I mean, it's ultimately up to the board. I can't decide what they do.
I understand that. Having been a board member for 6 years and affiliated with Board 8 for 20 before, I know what the problems are.
Yep.
And if this wasn't, and one more thing, Jeremy, this has to be approved by the board to be put on the agenda. Someone has to bring it up, it has to be brought up, voted on, and then approved by the board to be put onto the agenda.
Well, we put on the agenda,
It
As
comes from no
discussed-
committee.
huh? I didn't hear you say again.
It comes from no committee.
It's under the chairman's report. We finalized the agenda last week to put it under the chairman's report.
And this was not mentioned at the leadership committee.
Correct me if I'm wrong, did we talk about this at the executive board meeting? I don't remember. I mean, either way, it's on the agenda. I didn't just make it up.
Yeah, we talked about it at leadership, during the leadership committee meeting. That's when we decided to have a public hearing.
I'll have to listen to the meeting because it was very vague. Otherwise, I would have spoken then, and I would have made sure if it was going to be on this agenda that I would have
Jeremy,
would
I'm
have
gonna
requested
leave.
time.
He keeps repeating himself. Just get to the point. I'd like to have some dinner before the
So-
regular meeting.
So can we hear from another public? Anyone else from the public would like to speak?
So we got somebody from Homeless Remedies. She may be here just for the full board meeting, or I mean, I'm assuming it's a she because that's who reached out to me, I believe.
Hi, yes. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
My name is Alicia Simmons. I'm the founder of Homeless Remedies. We are a grassroots nonprofit organization. And I just wanted to take an opportunity to introduce ourselves to the community in the Bronx to let everyone know that we are currently providing essential items and food to and referrals to the street homeless. And I just wanted
So,
to share that. I'm
so
sorry.
you're probably really here for the meeting at 7 o'clock then, right?
Yes, I'm at the wrong meeting.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. So I'll reconvene at 7.
Yeah. I think I sent you, I thought I sent you the details.
You did, but I just received something at 6, so I thought that the meeting was pushed up to 6.
Okay. No,
My
it's still
apologies.
7. It's all right.
Bye-bye.
Yes. Yeah, just go to the email I sent you on the 19th at 2:14.
Okay,
15,
thank
whatever,
you.
something like that. All right. You're welcome, man.
All right, so Jeremy, so I'd like to have that option to have virtual option, but we already have concerns that we sometimes take 5 to 10 minutes to get a quorum. So that already concerns me. And um, if we slightly encourage virtual, then it might take us even longer to get a quorum. So that's one. But that option, I feel like if you have childcare issues, just an emergency, like, it's a community board meeting, it's the last Thursday or the fourth Thursday of every month. You shouldn't wait to make plans for childcare or take off from work or whatever you need to do. But if your babysitter's sick, then your babysitter's sick. You know what I mean? For me, if I have to report to work, I'm an essential employee. I got to report to work. I'm mandated to return to work. But let's say I get a break at work for an hour to dial in. I'd like to be part of the meeting. So, so maybe is there a way where we can say, okay, you get 2 per calendar year or 2 per year, where you can dial in virtually, and if you exhaust them, then that's it.
Actually,
Yeah,
you can't dial in. You have to have the video recording according to what we read, correct?
Yeah, you know
Jeremy?
what I mean. I mean to
All
have
right,
the video.
right. No, I would prefer it because our meeting is very long, and to come home at 10:30 at night sometimes is not my cup of tea anymore. I'm not getting any younger, and I think a lot of people will feel that way.
So, what is that an option, Jeremy, to limit it to 2 per year?
yeah, as far as I know, yes.
Okay,
We determine, yeah, I think, remember the basics of it is make sure we have to have a quorum first. And then once you have that quorum, as long as they qualify for extraordinary circumstances, but remember, like Shane said, you have to have the video. And technologically, I don't know how necessarily we're going to swing it. I'll just bring a laptop and put you on the laptop. And then when you want to talk, I'll put the microphone to the speaker. I mean, I don't know we don't have that technical capability, which again, why I think this is not purposely suited for us.
I'm really surprised she had done this with all her concerns about COVID and etc. To do what she did.
Well,
That surprised me.
some people have told me that this is being pushed by the mayor's office. I don't know if that's true or not.
it is.
But-
It is because he made it public that he's trying to get everybody back to work. And it
Yeah.
actually made the news that he's trying to get everybody back to work, but then that person was attacked in the subway. Like maybe he should reconsider his plans to put people back to work if people are getting attacked in the subway.
Well, I think his plans are to get people physically back into the city, not necessarily back into the work mentality prior to COVID, right? Like, because, as much as because working from home is not a piece of cake necessarily.
Well, for you, maybe not, but I mean, there are people who say they can sometimes get more work done at home than they would.
Well, no, there's unequivocally that, I mean, there is that focus of factor that we're, yes, but at the same time, work is still work. Yeah, so you know what I mean? Yeah, he wants people he wants people spending money in the city, to my
Right.
knowledge, to jumpstart the economy.
Okay, I understand. Okay, so here's the other thing. Something that we haven't addressed since I've gotten to the community board. So if I dial in at 7 o'clock for the meeting and at 7:30, I dial off, or if I attend the community board meeting, I sign in at 7 o'clock and I leave at 7:30. I still get credit for being there. But was I productive? Did I really serve the community? I did not.
Well,
So
the beauty of WebEx, which is probably what we'd use, is we know when you log in and log out.
understood. So
Mhm.
that's good. But we don't even have a policy that says you have to stay for at least 51% of the meeting. You know what I mean? So if the meeting's 2 hours long and you decide to leave at 7:45, then you don't get credit. But if you stay until 8:15, then you do get credit.
But Yahi, we never know how long these meetings could be. Sometimes they could be 2 hours. And
Yeah,
sometimes
well,
they could be three
that's
and
why
a half.
understood.
No,
What I
but I
mean?
think-
So we.
But I think to Yahi's credit and point is,
Right.
let's go prior to COVID. We had members that they would show up late,
Oh,
leave
yeah.
early,
Right.
and that's not fair to those who stay the whole meeting.
Yeah, that needs
So-
to be addressed, Jeremy, because you know what? Honestly, maybe that person that did dial in is more effective and is better serving the community better than that person that came in, signed their name and left after a half hour, or that person that showed up after 8 o'clock.
Yes. And we know that there would be.
I think the policy should be, I think, going back to the 50-50 idea you had, but taking it to attendance. So if we made if you propose a bylaw amendment so we'll keep track of the time you showed up. Like if you show up late, like we could write down that time you showed up and the time you leave. And if you're not there for 50% of the meeting, you should be marked absent.
So yeah, so we have a sign-in sheet right now, right? When we attend in person, but we
Right.
don't have a time. So we should have a
Yep.
time slot there. And then when we leave, we should be able to sign out. And it could be, it might take an extra couple of minutes of everybody's time.
Well, Chris could do that because Chris does a sign sheet. Somebody leaves, he can be responsible for marking when they leave.
He should also mark when they come in late. Because and I know that there were many people who would come in after 8 o'clock.
Well, that's the thing. The time gets marked if the meeting is already commenced, then the time you showed up is noted on the attendance sheet.
Okay.
And then if you leave early, that should be noted on the attendance sheet too.
Yeah.
Does this have to be put into the bylaws?
Well, we could test it out before we go ahead and make a permanent change.
I'm just
Why don't we
okay.
test it out? Does that make sense? We see how we can test this meeting. The board could vote on it tonight. Somebody can make a motion. This is a new item. Bring it up under new business. Or we could bring it up during the public hearing or the agenda item where we talked about the public, either one. But nobody stopped me from a board member from making a motion regarding this tonight.
Okay, so for tonight, because we can vote on this next month we have to be in person, right?
And next month is
Yeah.
also the election of new offices.
So, Jeremy, if we vote on it tonight, will it be effective for next month's meeting?
You can vote on it tonight and make it effective for this meeting tonight. And I think,
Yeah, but
see what the board says.
But if you make it
How? Because it's WebEx, it's doing it for me. What time you punch in, what time you punch out.
So,
yeah, but you're setting it up ex post facto in my mind. If you're saying we're going to do it for this meeting, you mean the meeting we're at right now or the meeting that we're going to have?
No,
And you want to set it up for the full
the
board.
meeting at 7 o'clock.
The full
meeting
board
at 7 o'clock. Yeah. Any of you can make a motion saying, I request that, that we start keeping track of people who show up late and leave early. Once the meeting is commenced, because we publicly state the time the meeting commences. We have a
Right.
quorum, the meeting is started at 7 or whatever. And then anybody that shows up after that should be kept track of.
And if they leave early, they can still be excused.
Yeah, yeah. They could be marked excused, but that's still an absence.
Correct.
If it's, again, I would say 50% is the mark. If they miss 50% or more of the meeting, then that should be an absence.
All right, this is just a for instance. During Ramadan, maybe Yahi came to the meeting, left for a while to do his prayers, and then came back.
Mhm.
So how are you going to do that?
Well,
I
I'll
mean,
be back for the majority of the meeting anyway, so that
I know,
doesn't
but I'm
matter.
just, that was just a for instance.
Well, if you really, I mean,
Then
that's
it's
a
one
religious
meeting a
accommodation.
year. It's one meeting a year. I
Right.
get marked as excused and it counts against me. It is what it is. It's once a year.
Yeah, you could do it that way, or we can make specific, extraordinary circumstance, just like the open meetings law amendment. So Larry joined from the public. Larry, is there anything you want to? Are you here for the public hearing, or are you here for the full board meeting?
Oh,
You're both, I guess. I was looking to see if there's gonna be a board meeting after this.
Yeah, there is at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
It's the same. Is it the same dial-in, Jeremy?
No, it should be different. Maybe it is the same. Maybe I left it the same. I don't think so. I'm positive it's different. It's up
Yeah,
right
that's what I
now.
was checking. Okay.
Larry, do you have anything for us? Regarding,
No, I just checked. I
regarding,
thought this was the meeting, and then I saw Harriet's email, and I was like, okay, 6 o'clock. That's why I just jumped in.
Yeah, no, it's a different meeting.
Okay. Okay.
It's 7 o'clock.
If I
So,
could
Jeremy-
just say something to the board or the members
Yeah, go
here,
ahead, Bob.
that I would check with
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
borough president's office before I do anything as to attendance on that. And that the executive board should meet at the end of the year with maybe the borough president's representative and the council members who appointed a member that might have a problem with attendance, so that they can either remove them themselves or make sure that that person doesn't get reappointed. That's my suggestion to you.
I think that's it, Jeremy. I am going to call for a motion to request that we have an option for virtual meetings, but that option is only good twice for the year. And if it's you attend the virtual option the third time, you won't count towards the attendance. And that's going to be the motion I'm going to call.
I think you should actually make it a little bit more than twice.
Well, remember, Sandy, we
Yes.
already have a hard time getting a quorum. If we give people more options, then we have to have a quorum in person before we go to the people online. So if we have 15 people that dialed in online and we have 20 people in person, we don't have a quorum. We can't meet. And we could meet, but we can't officially vote or do official business. So that's going to limit us. So it's going to make people think when they should really, really, really use those options. Like, I'm planning on going on vacation. Maybe, you know what? I'm going to use that option.
I don't know. That's a
Well,
hard
if
call.
you want to go if you want to go more, maybe 3 at most.
Yeah.
Since the bylaws committee is suggesting 3 absences and you're removed. Does that make sense? Yeah, maybe
Yeah, that's
3 at
yeah,
most.
I was
But we also have to distinguish full board and committee. I think it should be 3 for each, which is how we do our attendance. If you have to miss 3 committee meetings in a row, not 3 here, 3 there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't even think
for
that option
removal
should be,
purposes.
good point.
Separated.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't even think the virtual, so what if we don't have a virtual option for the committee meetings?
you could do that too.
Because you know what? The
I-
committee meetings, are a little bit more flexible because before the committee meets, they're talking, hey, how's your calendar looking? Hey, how's your thing looking? Hey, it's not like for us where it's like a firm, time. And also those meetings for folks that are worried about, safety and COVID and illness and stuff like that, it's a smaller setting. And I'd rather people be in person, hash out some good work, because I want to see things hashed out in committee meetings. By the time they get to the general meeting, they've already been hashed out.
Well, that's true. I mean, when you look at when we get together for the bylaws, we hash it out and discuss it. And the
But the-
virtual,
But I would say I would caution you about striking the committee because it's going to be easier to actually technologically do in committee. Because remember, right now it's me pulling up the laptop. Remember, we tried this at Maestro's. It's not going to work with just laptop. Somebody's going to have to call a cell phone in and put the person on speaker. And even then I'm not sure how well they'll be able to hear everything. But they're going to be able to hear everything better than they will this laptop. So, yeah, I would caution against completely ruling out committees. I mean, in some ways, committees will be the testing ground for something like this.
Then, I think we should stick with two. If we're going to do committees and general board meeting, we stick with two virtual options. You still have two times you can miss without being proposed for removal. Actually, you still have more, right? Because you can't miss more than 3 consecutive 5 total.
Currently, but the bylaws committee is proposing
think-
you miss 3 meetings, period.
right?
So I guess you can miss two and two virtual. So that's 4. 4 out of what? Out of 10, right, Jeremy?
No, he got,
So-
yeah,
So
hey,
it makes sense. I feel like if you can miss 4 without being removed, then you're expected to attend 6. I think that's
Well,
fair. If you're going to start missing more than 4 meetings, maybe you should consider resigning.
well, how about this, Yahai? What if we only made it allowed for committee versus full board?
what do you
Like,
mean?
because the full board, what's that?
What, what were you talking about? We should make it for committee meetings. What were you aiming at? The virtual or the absence? Just an absence. Oh God.
You talking to me, Sandy, or Yahai?
I was talking to both of you really, but oh my God, my allergies, and I took the pills too.
So if you have allergies, you're not showing up in person, is what you're saying.
No, I'll be here tonight. I'm just saying, but it's just
Yeah.
so bad.
No, I know. I mean, I was just saying maybe committee would be better for the virtual option versus the full board, because the full board tends to be more important. But then again, I understand your situation, Yahya, that you could find yourself where you would want to join in remotely. I don't know. I mean, the option is not a good one, but it's better than no option, I feel like. Bob, did you have any questions?
Obviously, you're going to do whatever you want, so it doesn't matter. Take care.
we wanted to, Bob. We wanted to hear your take on it. I'd love to hear it.
You're going to need like I said to Yahe, you're going to need a full bylaw review next year anyway, because the mayor and the borough presidents are going to be making changes to bylaws. They want to get them more uniform than having 12, for instance, 59 community boards with 59 different bylaws.
I could only hope that happens, Bob. I'm not holding my breath, though.
Well,
I think that's a really good idea, but I don't.
Right, you're going to standardize literally the bylaws for all the community boards. Basically, that's what it'll become. But
right now, I'm trying to get the city to standardize website URLs, but I don't know.
but the question is, if these new bylaws come into being, are members of each community board, are they going to have a say in it, or is it going to come from some committee from the government?
It's gonna come from the mayor's office.
Yeah, so is that, you know,
Well,
difference.
it would have to be a city council would have to vote on it, most likely.
No, it's gonna be the mayor's CAU, Jeremy. I've already spoken to some of the reps.
Yeah, I understand, but they don't have the legal authority to require us all to have the same bylaws.
No,
unless-
they'll be able, you'll have room to adjust, but there'll be a standardized bylaw with room to adjust it in certain areas only.
Okay.
Oh, so they're gonna limit where you can change the bylaws or tweak it a bit.
It'll be a proposal.
Yeah, you'll be
Yeah.
able to add or subtract a committee or two. And, you know, when it comes to elections, will be standardized. You know, certain areas will be standardized. Others
Right.
can't be.
Yeah, hopefully. Okay.
All right, take care.
You too, Jeremy.
All right, anything else? Yeah, hey, Sandy?
No, not for now. Let me go.
Yeah, I
And
think
we'll
I'm
see you
good.
at 7.
All righty. I'm gonna end the meeting.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.